Alright, ya magnificent bastards. Strap on your Mjolnir helmets and polish those DMRs, because today we're kicking off a brand new series right here on the channel, inspired by a beautiful, possibly deranged soul in the Discord server. We're asking the most cursed question imaginable. Welcome to 5 Nights at 40k, and tonight's unlucky bastards, the UNSC. Yes, the slightly dystopian, corporate, military clusterfuck from the Halo universe. Now, I love these lads. Spartans are cool, ODSTs are badass, and the Mac cannons go boom real good. But let's be honest, toss them into 40k and you might as well chuck a sausage roll into a volcano and hope for the best. Before we kick off, a huge shout out to every single one of you absolute legends for helping me hit 500 subscribers. You lot made this happen. And to celebrate, don't forget to check out my 500 subscriber special, the Grimdark Pub, where lore meets lunacy, and the only certainty is questionable decisions and warp-tainted alcohol. Now, back to our boys in green. Can the UNSC survive 5 nights in escalated horror in the galaxy of eternal war? Grab a dram and let's dive in. It all starts with a routine slit space jump. A Forerunner artifact goes tits up, and the UNSC fleet tears a hole, not just in reality, but in their bloody luck. They don't arrive in some quiet, lonely corner of the galaxy. No, they come out skidding, screaming, and smoking out of slip space into the arse end of the Segmentus Obscurus, a grim little mining colony tucked so far into the Emperor's left bollock that the stars themselves look like they're apologizing. First impressions: abysmal. The sky is bleeding, actual red rivers of mist swirling overhead because some nearby warp rift is farting every Tuesday. The grass is screaming, and not metaphorically. There's audio. The ODSTs step onto the soil and hear what sounds like "Let Me Die" in 17 different dialects, and the local PDF. They're already in mid-purge. These poor bastards think the UNSC are Tal infiltration teams with stolen armor. They open fire without a word. Bolter rounds rip through warthogs like a bullshit teenager through Buckfast on a Friday night. Being diplomatic, the UNSC try to establish peaceful contact. Big mistake. They transmit a calm, open brand greeting across the void. This is Commander Lasky of the United Space Command requesting peaceful first contact. Except the Inquisition hears it first. A Death Watch kill team is dispatched within an hour. 10 meters of religious hatred in the form of genetically engineered space marines armed with relic bolters and millennia of Xeno killing experience. They don't ask questions, they just land, scan the battle, and mutter, "Unclean, weak, plastic." A fire team of Spartans manages to hold a ravine. Briefly, one of them gets a lucky railgun shot off and punches a hole through a Death Watch veteran. For a second, hope flickers. Then a Melta gun turns him into a fine mist. One moment, he's charging forward like a pissed off linebacker. The next, he's decorating a cliff wall with his carbonized femur. The UNSC scramble. ODSTs try a flanking op. They vanish until their helmets are found embedded in the dirt, still broadcasting static and garbled screaming. By dawn, the UNSC has learned 2 eternal truths. Power armor in this universe is a religion, not a brand. Everything here wants you dead, and it's got the gods to back it up. And this was the nice part of 40k. With the Death Watch gone and half of their forces mulched, the battered survivors dragged their broken arses to an ancient Forerunner bunker nestled deep within the planet's crust. Don't ask me how it got there. They pray for safety, even as the stone doors hiss open, with sounds not unlike someone whispering, "Run," in reverse. It's cold, it's old, it's got the distinct curse vibe that says, I shouldn't be here, but here I am. Inside, the Spartans try to get their systems back online, and the AI begins scanning the Forerunner architecture. That's when the Mechanicus arrive, a minor exploratory force led by Magos Biologicus, who looks like a blender made love to a cathedral. They take one look at the Forerunner technology and go full gospel mode. Tech heresy detected. Prepare to be cogified. No hello, no talk. Just an instant exorcism by Flamer. Castellan robots storm the bunker. Massive lumbering monstrosities that make Mjolnir armor look like cosplay from Wish. They open fire. Phosphorus blasters melt the ODSTs into sizzling piles of protein. The UNSC's AI, they try to interface with the local systems. Fatal idea. Within minutes, one AI turns into a binary-speaking demonette, trying to seduce a sentry turret with corrupted data packs. Another begins screaming Latin hymns backwards and locks the door while chanting, "I am the cog now." And then the hallucinations come. Marines begin seeing extra limbs on their squad mates. ODSTs are firing at shadows, crawling up the walls. One poor bastard swears his own helmet tried to eat him. The Magos begins harvesting Spartan gene seed, like he's preparing a goddamn dinner menu, muttering such fascinating meat in binaric cant. One unlucky squad gets eaten alive by sentient oil. Another loses their navigator to a server skull who injects him with holy napalm for having unsanctioned thinking. A retreat is attempted. Again. Half the engineers die screaming as the bunker's cogitator begins bleeding from the vents. Bleeding. One technician whispers Cortana's name into the comm unit, only for it to respond with, "Cortana is currently worshipping the Omnissiah. Please sacrifice a skull to leave a message." The night ends with Spartans dragging wounded ODSTs back to the surface, only to realize the stars have changed, the sky is wrong, and they're still being tracked. 2 nights in, and the UNSC now understands the most important rule of 40k. There's no such thing as high tech, there's only sanctions, and burn it with fire. Attempting to hide among the stars, the UNSC fleet jumps into what they think is uninhabited space. They encounter the territory of a minor chaos warband, just a wee collection of Night Lords and cultists who have been looking for something fun to flay. These aren't your average edgelord goth marines. These lads wear your skin before breakfast and post it to your bum. A boarding action begins. UNSC Marines hear whispers in their helmet. ODSTs try locking down the ship's corridors, but it's hard to stop something that teleports through walls and laughs at you while doing it. Night Lords carve inspirational messages into the ship's hull, like "We see you corporate scum" and "Tides paid in blood." A lone Spartan takes out a Chaos Champion in melee with an energy sword. The victory lasts for 4 seconds before Demon Engine eats him head first. By the end of Night 3, morale is collapsing, AI are mad, command is dead, the fleet is bleeding, and one ship captain is seen crying while praying to the Master Chief like he's the goddamn Emperor. The Inquisition has had enough of this Xeno nonsense. The UNSC present is declared a contaminant on a galactic scale. A full Inquisition fleet arrives, led by a relic Ordo Xeno Inquisitor, who is interested by Spartan augmentation and wants to vivisect them for fun and knowledge. Fire rains from the sky, orbital bombardments light up the void. The UNSC fires back with MAC rounds, They hit a cruiser, and for a moment, they think they might actually have a chance. Then, a Retribution-class battleship returns fire and vaporizes an entire planetary colony just to prove a point. Some Spartans surrender. They're crucified upside down on the prow of a Black Templar vessel. One ODST survives by screaming, "I serve the Emperor," and throwing his dog tanks into a warp rift. No one believes him. He is now a servitor. The warp storm that's been brewing finally breaks open. Reality shatters. Demons flood the system. Zinchian horrors swim through code. Blood altars appear on bridges. Spartans fight like lions, but even super soldiers struggle when physics is gone on vacation. One elite squad tries using a Forerunner artifact to seal the breach. It works by summoning a greater demon of Slanesh by accident. The artifact whispers things like, "Would you like to know pleasure, meatbag?" before exploding into rainbow fire. The last UNSC ship attempts to flee, only to find the Tyranids have arrived. Yep, just in case things weren't fucked enough. In 5 short nights, the UNSC has gone from confused tourists to warp-tainted wrecks, drifting through the Eye of Terror. So, there you have it. The UNSC. Could they survive 5 nights at 40k? Absolutely fucking not. They got torn apart, possessed, burned, shot, flayed, and turned into machine-screaming servitors or demon snacks. But it was fun to watch, wasn't it? If you've enjoyed this absolute carnage of a crossover, then hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that motherfucking bell by screaming into the void with the rest of us. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I promise we'll drag every poor bastard faction we can into this nightmare. Again, thank you for 500 subscribers. Now, go check out the Grimdark pub, grab a pint, and join the chaos. And remember, 5 nights at 40k isn't a game, it's a goddamn death sentence. Have a killing day, ya bloody legends, and I'll see ya in the next one.